But Bushy, in terms of what the Chelsea supporters need to hear, they need to hear the realness about what we offered, what was the deal? What was it? A case Osimhen just wasn't that interested in Chelsea? Was he interested in Chelsea? Did he really want to come to Chelsea? These are the
100.
questions that Chelsea want to know.
Like I can, if Osimhen was not interested in Chelsea, he would not have waited to transfer deadline day. He told Chelsea his final no on deadline day. So if he wasn't interested, he would have knocked Chelsea out. I'm not going. Leave me alone. So he was so interested. That's why I kept on saying, if Chelsea had done what they did on Saturday after deadline day, they did it on Friday, Osimhen would have been on Chelsea. Like been in Chelsea. This is the biggest fumble I've ever seen in my life. It was so funny that you have one of the best strikers in the world available, ready, and you totally flopped it. It was pure comedy to me. I'm
But
talking about
Bushy, I want to say, why did it flop? This is what we want to know. Why? Why did
he
it flop?
flopped.
Who are we blaming? Who are we blaming here?
100% not. Yes, not. I'm not here to speak for Victor Osimhen, but I'm here to say the truth about the transfer. It flopped because of the wages Chelsea offered.
Thank you.
That is the
That's all.
that is the number one. No other reason. Chelsea offered disrespectful wages. He was so disrespectful in every way. Osimhen is the highest earning player in Italy. Highest earning player in Italy. Highest. And you want to bring that kind of player to Chelsea, you make some sacrifice. Players are different in quality. That's the way life is.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Chelsea first offer was so disrespectful. I wish I could go into the details, but because of some peculiar reasons, I can't.
Yeah.
But their first offer was so disrespectful. That offer came on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I can't pick it. On Wednesday, before the week the transfer market ends. That's when they made the next offer on Tuesday the next week. And the last offer was made specifically on deadline day. After they made the third offer, that's when he was like, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm done. Like, these guys don't rate me or value me. It got to the level where the Chelsea coach, Enzo Maresca, was in conversation with Osimhen towards the end of the window, where he sent him a test. Because the Chelsea owners were big on Maresca talking to Victor. And Victor was like, I'll talk to you when Chelsea do what is right. Offer me. And let me clear this again. Victor never asked for Chelsea to pay him. I'm seeing the 300 grand, 500 grand. That is
Yeah.
so far. Only what Victor asked Chelsea was, pay me what I currently earn at Napoli. There was a time the conversation was even getting to Victor, even saying, okay, you can pay me lower, but close to what I earn. But I'm not going to take that huge sacrifice. It is not a pay cut. It is a pay slash. Like a pay slash. Chelsea stood their ground. Osimhen stood his ground. And I don't see any issue with it at all. But if you want a player and you keep on coming and you don't come up with the right thing, I would have been mute about the whole situation. But what got everybody confused was the same club. Like I wish I can be in the head of the Chelsea executives. Like the same club that offered disrespectful wages. On Saturday, we are willing to do a deal for January, offering him what he wants. 5 hours different. Like I can't really explain how how they got to that resolution or how they concluded that you didn't give this guy what he wanted, but you want to give him what he wants in January, in just hours. So I think Chelsea executives need to answer that question to Chelsea fans because Minerals, I've been insulted. I've blocked a lot of Chelsea fans. Have been called names. It's crazy, man. Till now, they still believe that Osimhen was asking for huge wages from Chelsea fans, from
Yeah.
Chelsea. And that is false. That is very, very false.
Do you know what's absolutely disgraceful, right? Is that he's definitely one of the top 3 strikers. I put him top 3 strikers in the world right now. He's available. You've got a clear run with to sign him. He's actually, what's worse, the fact that he's not demanding the 300 grand a week. He's happy to, take reduced wages, so to speak, but to join your club, and you still lowball him. And then after transfer deadline day, you're saying to him, I will pay you what you want. That makes no sense. It's lunacy, which is exactly what we're being run by. Lunatics. They haven't got a clue. And they've just missed out on Osimhen. What if Osimhen now, well, I probably guarantee he'll ball out at Galatasaray. He'll bang a bag full of goals. Everyone will be after him. And then someone else is going to go in January, and Chelsea have lost that opportunity to go and sign him. That's an absolute disgrace when you're supposed to be preaching to the supporters, oh, we've got ambition. We want to win. And, oh, Iqbali, oh, we need to be in the Champions League. Like, we crave it. Oh, you only crave it now. We'll go and get Victor Osimhen, and then we'll have a chance to get top 4. At this rate, we're a long way from Starbucks, mate. We're a long way from it all. And what's embarrassing, BUCHI, yeah, is that he wasn't asking for these crazy wages. And of a striker his ilk, he could easily go to any top club in Europe and get 300 grand a week, or maybe more, because most clubs, they don't have this wage cap. So you're basically, you've just muddied every brand envelope out there. You've muddied every journalist out there, because the reality situation is everyone was lying that he wanted 500 grand, that he won't drop. His agent came out and said he's not going to take a euro or pound less than what he's on now, which is fine. That's negotiation skills. But when it comes to deadline day, there is leeway because you're that close to the transfer deadline. So I don't believe, BUCHI, that Chelsea are going to go in January. I don't believe it, because if you're not prepared to offer the wages on transfer deadline day, then why all of a sudden you're going to offer it now? There's only one explanation before I let you land it, is they couldn't afford to do it because of the so-called FFP, and they needed to sell more players, and they couldn't sell all the players that they needed to sell. Maybe that's one reason, but still, it's an insult to say to Osimhen, take 140 grand or whatever was reported. You know what I mean? That's a joke. I mean, you got Wesley Fofana on 200 grand a week. You've got Enzo Fernandez on 160 grand a week. You've got Casado on 190 grand a week. You've got Sterling on 325 grand a week. You've just increased Cole Palmer, but you can't pay Victor Osimhen, who's basically elite and clear of every player in our squad when you talk about levels in the game. It's madness, bruv. It's criminal. It's criminal.
And to clear this, by the way, any deal, there's no deal for January. It's not possible because Osimhen has given Galatasaray his words that he's going to stay for 1 year. He's a man of his words. So he's not leaving in January without to any club. Right now, his focus right now is playing football. He was very unhappy at Napoli, where he was just being a professional footballer. He's gone to Galatasaray and he's felt the love from the fans. And he wants to play and enjoy his football. For June, when he goes back to Napoli, June 2025, I can assure you, Minerals, will see one of the biggest bidding wars for Victor Osimhen. Because what he fought for also was to make sure his release clause was reduced from 130 million euros to 75 million euros. Victor Osimhen for 75 million euros is a steal.
It's like the Haaland deal. It's like the Haaland deal.
I'm telling you, in June 2025, what we just saw this time, this August or September, is going to be a joke compared to next year. And Chelsea are going to be in the queue like other clubs.
Do you know what's hilarious to me? It actually rattles me. I'm not going to lose my head, but I'm rattled. Like right now, I'm absolutely rattled because they have just served us up Nicholas Jackson for another season. Now Victor Osimhen, all this talk in January is fabricated, and that's all false PR, all right, to make everyone believe, oh, we've got a chance, yeah? But the reality situation is we won't even have a chance in the summer because Any club will blow these clowns' wage structure out the water. End of story. All right. And I'll be real. I don't believe we're getting Champions League football. So why would Victor Osimhen come to us anyway? He wants to play Champions League football. He's even basically, I respect what he's done. Everyone goes, oh, he's a fool. Why did he reject Chelsea? Oh, we could have just come on loan. But they don't understand, and I want you to confirm this. These deluded supporters don't understand that Victor Osimhen is getting 160 grand from Galatasaray. Plus, he's still getting paid his full wage, the remaining amount of his full wage from Napoli, and he's managed to reduce his his release clause. So it's a win-win for Victor Osimhen in the sense that he's got a better chance now of going to any club in Europe at the end of his loan with Galatasaray. Yet, oh, he rejected Chelsea. No, he wanted to come Chelsea, but don't mug him off. That's the truth.
100%. I've seen a lot of reports from Chelsea fans saying he's getting this now. He's still getting paid the same salaries on. Galatasaray pays 70% of it, and Napoli pays 30% of it. That's the essence of a loan. The essence of a loan, it depends on how the negotiation power goes. The player, the club that gets the player on loan pays more of the wages. There's a couple of times where the club getting the player pay more or play like 100% of the wages. But right now, Napoli is still contributing. Why Gala pay most of the wages? So he didn't take a pay reduction. Please, let's clear that. No pay reduction. He's still on the same pay, but the wages have been shared by two clubs: the loan club and his parent club.
And you know what, Bushy? I saw your tweet. You quote tweeted these two deluded wrong'uns that we will call them idiots. Have it right? We call them wrong'uns on the Minerals FC. Those idiots. Yeah. They're going, oh, Victor Osimhen's an idiot. What an idiot. How can he reject? Why didn't he just come on loan Chelsea? Because they push the narrative pro Clownlak, the ownership at Chelsea. They will never go against the ownership. All these main platforms never go against the ownership, because if they do, they'll bite the hand that feeds them. Let's have it right. We all know the game, all right? But don't disrespect when you don't know the truth. And if you do know the truth and you're not speaking the truth, that's when you're outright bought and you're a disgrace to everyone and all your followers. All your followers, you're disrespecting them because you're feeding them false narratives, all right? It's clear as day that this deal, as Bushy's confirmed, never went through, not because of Napoli, not because of Victor Osimhen, but because of Chelsea unwilling to pay not even what he's on now. That is an outright disgrace. And that proves the point that every journalist out there, every platform, propaganda in this ownership, that they got ambition to be the best, to compete in the Champions League. And you get all this PR from Egbali and Bowley about, oh, we crave to be in the Champions League, is the biggest lie. It's the biggest load of brown envelope matrix wrong and narratives. And we need to stop this. And this is where it stops, is that do not buy into what you read from all these large platforms, because they don't tell you it as it is. They never have and they never will, because they listen, let's have it right. We know how the game works. We know how the game works. But there you have it, yeah? We didn't pay the money. They didn't want to pop their cherry. They didn't want to break the wage structure. And let's have it right. I want to make this point. Simon Phillips, you fraud. You're a fraud. Do you know why you're a fraud? Because you said Chelsea are going to break that, what? Under 25 model. They're going to break this wage structure model. Yeah, you're a long way from Starbucks, as is everyone else that's feeding this narrative that made Chelsea supporters believe that we were finally going to pay the money and get Victor Osimhen, because these owners are deluded to think that they can go and sign an elite striker for wages and a transfer fee of all the other kids that they've been buying us, because it's all a youth project. They want everyone to be the same. It's all level. No, you need a hierarchy in wage structure. You need a hierarchy in leaders and experience with experienced youth, and then youth. And that's the blueprint of football. And Victor Osimhen was prepared to come and still play for Chelsea, which makes it even more worse. It makes it even more insulting. It's absolutely insulting to me. And I'll big up to Victor Osimhen, mate. Respect to him. Respect to him. Respect to him. Do you know what I mean? He wanted to play for Chelsea. He wanted to look at. He was looking up to Didier Drogba, looking at John Obi Mikel, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Our elite team.
And to add more to that, Chelsea did reach out to John Mikel and one other player to talk to Victor Osimhen to convince him on joining Chelsea.
They reached out, or they didn't? You saying they did?
They did to talk to Victor Osimhen to convince him. Mikel and somebody else. I can't call the other player because he's active. What John Mikel called Osimhen a couple of times. John was even the one telling John. Wasn't the one telling Osimhen what Chelsea was going to offer him? Like, it's just pure jokes.
You see, yeah, and do you know what the joke is, Bushy? We've had Nicholas Jackson tell Mikel to shut up and stop talking shit because John Obi Mikel knows ball, knows that Victor Osimhen is exactly what we need up front. He was the key. He was the key to unlocking and us getting Champions League football and hopefully bringing us back to where we bloody well belong, where these clowns have destroyed us and gutted everything out that Roman Abramovich has built. All right, and John Obi Mikel knows that. He's got his platform. He's got his podcast. He's had Osimhen on there. He's had all the goats on there. You know, all the legends in the game. All right, but they've also insulted John Obi Mikel, and they're allowing their player to talk crap to John Obi Mikel, who's a legend at Chelsea. It's a disgrace, bruv. What's your take on that? What how do you see that?
I really honestly, like I said, I want to be in the heads of the Chelsea executives on how they fumbled this. Like, I call it the biggest fumbling in a very long time. Big fumbling. I can't even explain how. Like I said, if Chelsea were adamant on their offer, say, okay, this is what we want to offer you, I'll be like, okay, no problem. But coming back and saying you want the same player in January, that was where the joke got funny to me. I'm like, this is like the most confusing thing I've heard in my life. So what's the essence for it? Like, what's the reason for it? Why don't you stick to your weak structure? You'll be gone. So it's like, I can't really explain because I don't want to talk too much on this transfer or something, because like you said, most of your Chelsea fans, they are so
They're
toxic.
Blind. They're
so
toxic and blind. Yeah.
So toxic. Like, it's too toxic. Trust me. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been getting insults. When I say insults, I mean serious insults. Mocking, calling me names, blah, 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 that I'm lying, that I'm trying to protect Victor Osimhen. I'm not protecting Victor Osimhen. I'm saying the truth. Like,
Facts.
like all the journalists want. Like, you wouldn't see this coming from other journalists coming to say the truth because they have interest to protect. And they are not going to play with